At first glance, this is the same but thicker Mac Mini, but it defeats even monster computers. This is M1 Ultra Mac Studio. Let's the video. In terms of design, Mac Studio weighs 3.6 kilograms, is 7.7 inches long, and 3.7 inches thick. True, it's heavier and thicker than the Mac Mini, but it's still fully portable, which is amazing for a computer with this power. This device has 3 cooling fans that Apple has tried its best to be very quiet and at the same time have a good cooling, which works really well. And the fan does not produce much noise, but it is not completely silent. It does not have a big problem in terms of design, but I wanted to say that it is bigger than other mini computers, but I remembered that it is not a normal mini computer like Mac Mini at all. Mac Studio has 6 Thunderbolt 4 ports, 1 Ethernet port at 10 gigabits per second, a power port, 2 USB-A ports, an HDMI 2.0, and 1 3.5mm audio jack. But this is not a typical 3.5mm audio jack and fully supports quality headphones and microphones. Maybe you are one of the users who needs a lot of displays. The good news for you is that this device supports 90 million 10-bit pixels, which means 5 4K monitors or 4 XDR Pro monitors, which I think completely meets the needs of a professional user. But I personally expect a $4,000 computer to have HDMI 2.1, not 2.0. The new Mac also has an SD card slot as it is built for professional users. But what makes this Mac special is the M1 Ultra chipset that is housed inside it. It is the result of the integration of 2 M1 Max chipsets with a bandwidth speed of 2 TB per second. It also has 64 to 128 GB of unified LPDDR5 RAM with a speed of 800 GB per second. Apple is very confident in the high bandwidth speed between the two chips because it has completely doubled the M1 Max numbers. The M1 Ultra has 20 CPU cores, 48 or 64 GPU cores, and 20 neural engine cores. Because the architecture of this chip is ARM, it has 4 efficiency cores and 16 extremely powerful cores. This chip can easily offer 80 to 90% better performance than the M1 Max, which means almost twice as much. What makes this chip work so smoothly inside this small case with this power is definitely the 5nm ARM architecture, which is extremely energy efficient. As Apple claims, it can offer Cry 9 12900K performance with 100 watts less and RTX 3090 performance with 200 watts less. But these are just numbers that Apple says. The CPU of this device is much more powerful than the Core i9 in terms of multi-core performance, but Intel beats Apple as always in single-core performance. In terms of graphics, Apple was right, but I think it forgot that the RTX 3090 PC version is an energy hungry and Nvidia's performance is definitely better. Of course, that if the Core i9 and RTX 3090 are included in this case, you don't need heater anymore, but it is better to return to the real world from the world of numbers. This machine is a monster. Today, most software is not only compatible with the architecture of Apple chips, but also works much better. You can easily edit an 8K video with many effect layers in After Effects or even do heavy 3D designs. Sometimes it even works better than the $50,000 Mac Pro and shock you. In terms of performance stability, you might think that it is not perform well due to the small size of the cooling system, but it has a completely stable and reliable performance. The SSD of this device is 1 to 8 TB with a super read and write speed of 7.5 GB per second. You have the ability to upgrade your SSD too, but if you can. I don't think Apple can either. But the software is what makes Mac Studio in the real world offer a better user experience and performance than even more powerful computers. Mac Studio, like all Apple computers, has a macOS 12 operating system that will receive updates for years to come. macOS is a lovely, attractive, compatible operating system that is highly optimized and really enjoyable to use. But it is also very limited and closed, like a house without windows, so it is more secure. As for gaming, just as drinking water with a fork makes sense, playing with a Mac makes perfect sense. But outside of the joke, Mac is not designed for gaming, but it is great for professional work and everyday use. This computer also has a built-in speaker, which is a normal speaker with good bass, good clarity and relatively all-round sound. But when you pay at least $4,000 for a computer, I feel it makes sense to buy a speaker. In my opinion, the Mac Studio with the M1 Ultra chipset is quite suitable for those who are doing a highly professional project and need a powerful and even portable computer. But if you want the best of the best, I think wait for the Mac Pro. And if you do not need 8K ProRes video editing, I think M1 Max will be a better choice. Also, if you're a gamer, you can say hello to the Windows world. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, like it, and if you like my content, subscribe to my channel. Goodbye, see you in next video.